Due to public demand, I dedicate this particular edition of Business Glide towards trying to understand the author of Turkana County's economic problems and how the county can forge ahead even with the new administration board. Will this probably bring to an end the suffering that has been occasioned in that particular county for year in, year out? And of course, my name is Richard Mwenje. Such a pleasure to have you on yet another insightful edition of Business Glide. A show that we hope will have an impact on the future of Kenya's economy, the first one for its case after the election. And we hope that it will be as insightful and informing as just the other many shows that we have here on the channel. And of course, to help me delve into this subject as usual is none other than the first of his name, Herman Manyora. In a red tie,
Correct.
Definitely going to say tag swagging.
Yes.
Especially from the she gender.
Yes, no problem.
I don't know why, but actually, 3/4 of our she fans really have a special liking for you. Is it that they see you as a father or what?
Yeah, I'm a likable guy. As a father, as a boyfriend, as anything.
All right, sir. Interesting.
Yes.
All right, let's talk matters to Turkana County. You've seen the new governor-elect who was actually taken out of office, that is Jeremiah Lomurkai of ODM, succeeding Governor Josephat Nanok, who is much affiliated with the Kenya Kwanza side. And these are change of command, and change is as good as it comes. But you've been the biggest critique of devolved units of government and often saying that it's always a case of garbage in, garbage out. For this particular candidate under the ODM, and you've expressed so much confidence on ODM leadership, do you think Lomurkai will usher in a new dawn for Turkana residents, just from that general perspective?
Even Nanok was ODM. I don't know about him as a person. I only know the unique situation that is Turkana.
Which is?
It is a county among the counties in the arid areas of this country, the northern parts of this country, that have been forgotten since independence. It is one of the counties where people say they are going to Kenya when they are coming to Kitale. It is a county where the suffering is real. It's not imaginable. It is real. It is from this county that images, worrying images, are carried on international media, on CNN,
Al Jazeera.
It is in this county that famine and hunger that cannot be excused in the 19th century, leave alone the 21st century. It is in this country that you find human beings that approximate to human beings in terms of suffering.
Children of a lesser God?
Children of a lesser God. But surprisingly, this is a country with plenty in terms of natural resources. It's a country where our first oil drilling was done. It's a country where water, underground water, was found that could service Africa for a number of years. It is a country where, despite the drought, the soils are extremely fertile. It is a county, not country. It's a county with a lake that has got a huge reservoir of marine life potential, fish and so on and so forth. And there are minerals in Turkana. It is the epitome of what Africa is, a land of plenty from their Mecca, but a land where people live very deplorable lives and where the little that is exploited goes to the foreigners.
All right.
Turkana also, for your information, is a land that is teeming and beaming with all manner of international aid workers and NGOs, and where people are going to make money.
All right.
Against all this, we must also add that Turkana receives some reasonable amount of
from the exchequer
of money, sometimes the leading amounts of money other than Nairobi,
all right,
from the shared revenue in our devolved unit arrangement.
All right.
So with all this, one can then begin to ask themselves, why can a son of the soil, a Turkana person, he may even be half Kikuyu like Nanok, and by way of bringing and schooling and where he has stayed and the languages he speaks, but a son who looks at what is happening to his people and the tears roll down and say, these are my people. They are living like people of the 13th, 14th century. And have the benefit of education. And they have trusted me with the responsibility to be a governor, to manage the little they have. And it is a county from which if you went to look for partners, they are bound across the world. Why can't we have somebody? I just hope the new governor will be that son of the Turkana who will remove them from the shame and embarrassment.
All right. Talking matters governance of the county resources, we've seen EACC head Mbara come forth and saying it's high time all persons who are going to serve under the public service to declare their wealth. And of course, you're going to see civil servants under the county leadership of Turkana doing the same. But oftentimes, just like what we've seen with Nanok exiting, so many people are castigating him over the billions that have been allocated there, but there is so much little widespread impact from the same money allocated by the government and even foreign aid, so forth. Do you think that this time round, with the new administration of board, we can see tightening the bottlenecks when it comes to resource governance in Turkana? And where does the fight actually start?
I just hope things will be better this time. This is our third round.
Yes.
We did 2013, now this is 2022. It's the third. We must have learned, even if there are mistakes, we can't make them. Structures and the laws are now in place. But the question of mismanagement, which we should find a way of dealing with. But there's also the question of theft. Governors getting away with open theft. Why can't we jail these governors like it was done in Nigeria? Unless we jail these governors, they will continue to steal. DPP, DCI, kelele tu, mdomo, nini sarakasi, drama, revolving doors at the ACC, the courts postponing case, adjournment, blah, blah. Why can't they get, if you don't jail these governors, they will continue to steal.
All right.
And Turkana will continue to be the embarrassment it is to Kenyans and to everybody else.
Talking about matters to do with embarrassment,
yes,
many people have saying that this, or rather alluded that this comes from our over-reliance in donor funding. And they say for county government of Turkana, it's high time they adopt a new development pattern, which is actually more based on self-reliance out of the vast resources that you've mentioned, other than depending on, say, USAID, Oxfam International, and a number of NGOs. You've seen what happened with the Kenyans for Kenyans initiative. The aftermath story is one that is so much despicable. Do you think that actually this county should go now forth into self-reliance and get less of community support, international community, and such issues?
The way I argue, I say, supposing you advertise positions of governor, international media, and then some small boy comes from UK, a small boy with little education, and you make him governor of Turkana in 10 years, what will you find? Turkana will feed this country. This is just how bad things are in this country. You know? The first thing a governor wants is to build a mansion. Hawa wazungu walikuja hapo walikuwa wanatengeza kakitu kidogo from which they were offering administration. Small places. So if the governor's first thing is to buy a house or build a house and a fleet of cars.
And county headquarters.
Huge county headquarters. This is not a person who wants to work for the people. Just a useless people. You know, they have nothing about them. They go into an overemployment spree, spending spree. They walk around with sirens even in the village. You know, they walk with huge chairs because they see Uhuru anatembea na yake. Where a governor is a stupid. I say,
they're even inspecting guards of honor. You've seen every county governor.
These are stupid people. They cannot change this country. Right. But the beginning point, we must jail them.
Jailing.
We must also put measures in place, for example. By now, I was hoping we would have stopped this idea of overemploying. By this time, I was hoping some of the things that are at the county level, which we made a mistake in the constitution, we would have removed. County Service Board, County Assembly Public Board.
And oversight agencies all over the
place. Useless things. We should have, 10 years was enough for us to see this is useless. Let's move this, let's move this. Let's say nobody can employ somebody at the county level. Let's have a central bureau, National Employment Bureau or authority. Where if you want if you want to hire people, you explain why it is approved, you say who, what qualifications, na unaletewa.
That's it, centralized.
These are some of the things we must do so that we stop remaining a backwards, poor, dirty country
Dependent on outside
where we have a host of people from the international community and NGOs in Turkana adding zero value. Apart from a few who are offering health services, the rest are just busybodies out to make money. So a governor of, if I was the governor of Turkana County, for 10 years, you will see a difference.
Just for 10 years?
You see a difference.
Let's talk about a difference in matters security concerns in the county. You've seen, even before the election, just a few days before the election, there were skirmishes in the area. People were torching down the houses of their fellow members of Turkana County. And very recently, 4 months ago, barely 4 months ago, KDF actually was allocated by the county government over 145,000 acres of land to beef up security in the region and set their bases therein. But we've seen such developments take place even in Laikipia County, but we are still seeing chaos all over the place. How different can they address the issue of insecurity in Turkana County?
Insecurity in those areas is not a simple matter. It's not a matter Matiang'i can direct guns and soldiers. No. It's a very complex area. Some of the issues are historical. Some of the issues are cross-border. You're talking about the Toposa in Ethiopia. You're talking about Karamajong in Uganda. So cross-border. Some of the issues are deeply cultural. Some of the issues are commercial. Castle rustling to the scale we normally witness cannot happen unless somebody has a market. Those Turkana and Pokot fellows cannot have market for the kind of animals people move in cattle rustling. So it is complex. And to address such a complex issues, you need to have a complex approach. You know, multidisciplinary approach. The national government must focus its attention on those areas. Because for some of the problems, once you solve water problem, you have solved half of the problems. So people fight over things like those. Once you have solved water problems, you now move to pasture. Once you solve water, pasture, 3/4 of the problems have disappeared. Then you remain with the criminal element of it. And then the coast, then you deal with Uganda, you deal with Sudan, Southern Sudan, and Ethiopia, and you know. But you cannot deal with this issue as if it's an issue where you just take boys with guns.
Set your bases here and
no,
keep
you will not manage. Even the boys keep dying. You've seen them dying there, Kapedo and the rest.
Baragoi and
Baragoi, yeah, they will die because you are being simplistic in addressing a very complex issue.
All right, let's advance the conversation on matters Turkana County. We have seen the issue that has also come on board being this one whereby the county is failing to address the most crucial challenges. And for this particular case, we are seeing water coming on board. Don't you think for the new public service board of actually Turkana County should set water aspect at the center stage of its conversations even before gravitating towards other concerns?
Yeah, that's management board of Turkana should look at the potential and should look at low-lying fruits, short-term, long-term, mid-term.
All right.
They should look at things the county can do without outside help, things the county can do with the national help, things they can rope in international partners, things over which you need cross-government cooperation with Uganda, Ethiopia, Southern Sudan, hubs, things over which the UN may come in handy. So it requires a complex brain. In other words, Turkana is not Kakamega County.
All right. Because of time, before we actually wrap up the conversation, now that you've said we've seen bottlenecks in terms of the investment priorities of such a county, you've seen oil remain a highly emotive subject in the county. And so is other resources such as marine tourism around Lake Turkana and so forth. And a number of public-private partnerships are going to be advanced by the county in the near future, even with the new administration on board. This time round, to avoid the issue of being a fallout between residents and the county government over benefits of such resources, for Lumurkai, the new governor, how do you think he should best address such so that every county resident benefits from what God endowed to the county?
You know, he must think outside the box. When I had people like Nanoka and Uhuru quarreling over the revenue of oil, I just laugh. You are giving a foreigner your resources to create billions out of, and you are fighting over 10 million. You are stupid people, honestly. I'm sorry to say that.
Royalties.
They are fighting over royalty. That's in the 21st century. You cannot be fighting over royalty. You must be exploiting these, your natural resources given to you by the maker, by God. So we say, we have the resources. You have the capital and the technology. We have the resources and we have the people. You have the capital that will include even technology. Can we get together and partner to exploit these things which God gave in his own wisdom? He'll put them in Kenya.
And in Turkana.
Instead of Canada. So hii inaitwanga tia what? Hii ya Kwale hii.
Oh, titanium. There's titanium. Yeah.
In his wisdom, God put it in Kwale and not in Canada. So when the Canadians come because they have some money and some know-how, some expertise, they must partner with Kenyans in Kwale and the government of Kenya to exploit what God put in Kenya.
And with the goodwill
Sio mtu achote kila kitu aende na anawatupia shilingi 10 mnabaki mkipigania. Oh, this is cheap and stupid. We must run away from such a stupidity.
So you are trying to say goodwill of the community and also community engagement has to be there.
Make sure the communities are part and parcel of it.
From the start.
And not the question of royalty. It's a question of what is it we are exploiting? What is the cost of doing it? When do we begin to get profits? How do we share the profits? How do we guard against environmental destruction?
All right.
How do we guard against cultural pollution? How do we ensure the people around are safe from environmental hazards because of this exploitation? How do they benefit in terms of medical, in terms of schools for their children, in terms of employment? These are simple things. But because our leaders want to eat with those people and they allow those people to come and exploit us, you can see where we end up.
So without a change of tack, we're going to see more of Turkana in the headlines.
I hope the governor, we should be having conversations with people like us, and he must have the moral fortitude. You must have the determination to remove the embarrassment and the shame that Turkana has been and that continues to be to this day.
Right.
If that is the driving force for you wanting to be governor, you will succeed. If you are wanting to be governor, it's because you shed tears when you see the Turkana being portrayed the way they are portrayed on international media.
And given relief food.
And you feel it, and it is driving you in your moments of when you are alone, you want to cry. Then you can save the people of Turkana. But if you want just to put on a suit, as your people are ragged, looking eating wild roots and berries and dying and even eating dogs.
And lead the council of governors.
And you have a suit as a governor, then you are just another stupid person.
All right.
Yes.
Well, there you have it from the perfect public scholar. Definitely, I can say this without actually double text that there is no other person who could have put it any better than Herman Manyora. Talking matters are the future of Turkana County, even in the new administration coming on board, and how best that county can forge ahead to really actually address the economic concerns that have been witnessed not just for the last 10 years, but since time immemorial. My name is Richard Mwenja. Before I wrap it all together, time for our fun of the week, and it is none other than Madam Felista Njuguna in Amagoro, Trans Nzoia County.
Amagoro Park.
Yes, she lives there actually.
That beautiful place.
Yes.
Madam?
Felista Njuguna.
Felista Njuguna, you live in a good place. I admire that. Next time I'm going to Kitale, Amagoro Park. I hear the big boys have houses there.
They have.
When I grow up, when I grow up, I'll have a home there.
They actually even setting up a golf club. Do you know a golf course?
I know. And I was trying to buy some land around there. I was unable to raise the money.
Right.
Thank you very much, Felistas, for being part of the family.
All right. To help Herman Manyora actually raise the funds to buy that house around there, Turkana County government, you can consult him on how best the county can forge ahead. Definitely will meet his bill. You are not such expensive, right?
No, not expensive.
The governor can afford you?
He can afford me.
He can.
And I can help them turn around that county. I have ideas to change northeastern Kenya.
And you have economists on board who can work with you?
Yes, of course. Why not? Absolutely.
Until next time on Business Glide, my name is Richard Mwenja. Always a pleasure. See you.